Sharpen pencils, clear your desk.
It's time to increase your nerdiness with Derek.
Why, hello, it's Derek, and the time has come again to increase your nerdiness, because I'm not feeling it. I don't think you're nerdy enough. So we're going to work on that. Today's lesson is about pull-down. Now, what's that? When you moon somebody? No, pull-down is the process, well, I guess it could be that too, is the process that converts 24 frame a second video or film or whatever to the TV rate of 30 frames a second or 60, whatever it happens to be that you're going to. Now, it's important to me, I think, to understand this before you start working with 24p footage. Because, look, whenever you change the frame rates in video, you really want to know what you're doing. Because you could lose quality for no reason. No other reason that you weren't enough of a nerd, mister. So I'm going to have to educate you. And I don't want you to kind of blindly follow settings. Because there are YouTube videos that'll say, well, export at 30 frames a second. What? I say, no. That depends on what kind of original footage you have. That should determine what kind of frame rate you're going to export and stuff like that. So, very important stuff if you ask me. Well, anyway, like I said, going from 24 to 30 or 60 frames a second, I should also mention that out in Pale Land, this is much easier. All you have to do is you take our American films at 24 frames a second and you speed them up just a little bit, making us 4% more like chipmunks, and you actually make that 25 frames a second because your TV is 25 frames a second. So if it's interlaced, whatever, then you got two of the fields. By the way, progressive versus interlacing, that was another video I did, and there's the link to it. Go watch that. Make sure you understand the whole interlacing process and how it works before you get into this. That's my advice. But now, for those of you educated people who know about interlacing and how it works, how the heck do we take a progressive video from 24 frames a second and make it 30 or 60? Well, I'm going to give you a hypothetical here. I'm actually, you need more responsibility. You are going to work in my cartoon making shop. See, the thing is, you are a talented artist. All right, and you have actually animated this whole cartoon that we're going to be working on today. However, you have it sitting in your truck, and by contract, all you could do is you're going to set up one picture, one drawing that you've made every 24th of an hour. All right, so we're going to do an hour of work here, not on this video, but this is the example. We're going to do an hour of work every 24th of an hour, whatever that is. You're going to set down a picture right there. And I, as your boss, we got to make sure this works for TV, which is 30 frames a second. And I've got a camera set up. I'm going to photograph your picture that you put down, except I'm going to do it every 30th of an hour. So in 1 hour, we're going to get through an entire second, all right? I have no idea why we would do it this way, but we just do. Okay, just sake of example here, all right? So anyway, I'm photographing at a different rate than you put the picture. You do every 24th of an hour. I do it every 30th of an hour. So that's what we're doing. All right, here we go. So let's start with the first one. You put it up there on your easel. Snap. I took the first picture. So I'm not coming back for another 30th of an hour. That's 2 minutes for those of you that aren't good at math. So a couple of minutes later, I come back, I take the next picture. And oh, good, you've got a new picture set up there for me. Great, okay. So I go away, and then I come back again. And the same thing, it's a new picture. And then the fourth time, it's a new picture. But the fifth time, this is what's going to happen. Because of simple math reasons. I'm going to come back, I take my picture, and what the heck? You had a new picture for me 4 times in a row, and now I still see the fourth picture. What the heck is going on here? So I have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 pictures. And then the other picture is the same fourth picture. Because look, you've got your, well, let me explain the fraction here. For those of you who would remember elementary school, don't worry, I'll do the math for you. If you were to take the fraction 24 over 30 and reduce that fraction, you would get 4/5, 4 over 5. Okay, because that's what's going on. We have 24 frames, 30 frames. You reduce if you don't believe me, put it in your calculator. 24 over 30, same thing as 4 over 5. So what that means is for every 4 frames of film, because you're going every 24th of an hour, I'm going every 30th, we need 5 frames of video. So let's put this together. Okay, so see, 1, 2, 3, 4 are shared. Uh-oh, what about that other frame? That's going to be a repeat. That's the problem that we're trying to avoid here. So, being a smart boss, or maybe just a jerk, because that's what'll happen. It'll actually be jerky video. 4 smooth moving frames, and then a pause, and then 4 and a pause. So, yeah, anyway, I am a jerk, and I don't like your jerkiness that comes up from photographing this way. So, all right, let's start it all over. I know the contract. You're going to show me 24 pictures every hour. However, here's what I'm going to come back twice as often. I'm going to come here every 60th of an hour. Yeah, that's twice as fast as a 30th of an hour for those of you who aren't good at math. But then why are you watching this video in the first place? But I come back, so that's every minute, all right? And we're going to take the first picture. I come back, take another one. That is the same picture you've got there. The third time I come, same picture I photographed. Now, the fourth time when I come back, you finally got up your new picture because you're going every 24th of an hour, okay? And then I take another picture, and there it is. So I've had 3 of the first, 2 of the second one. Every time I come back, every 60th of an hour, I'm going to end up getting a picture, a new picture. There's going to be 3 of one and 2 of another. And then 3 of one and 2 of another. And so on and so forth. Just because it's simple math. I mean, forget about the progressive and interlace thing at this point. That's what happens. So, as you can understand, going from 24 to 30 would be kind of a mistake because it would be jerky or you'd have some kind of problem converting the frame rate. But if we go twice as fast and I take a picture every 60th of a second, there'll be 3 of one, 2 of the other. And if you actually watch a broadcast channel that broadcasts it in a progressive, 60 progressive frames a second, that's exactly what you'll see. You see 1, 2, 3 of one frame and 1, 2 of the next and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. It repeats just because of the different rates. All right, so hopefully at this point, you understand interlacing and how that works. And you understand that pulling this out in a 3-2 pattern, well, it'll kind of even out into a 60p stream that's sort of smooth. It's a little bit off. And by the way, if you have relatives who come over from Europe, they will probably notice that kind of juddery effect. But we're used to it. I mean, if you've ever watched Jurassic Park on your VHS player and your tube television, then you've seen Pulldown in action, and you probably didn't notice it. So that's how it works. However, now that you understand the whole math of 24 to 60 or 30, how does this fit into interlacing? Well, I think this will help if we step over to the old whiteboard, and I'll try to draw this out for you. Okay, so this I've drawn to represent our stream of video, and these are each the fields that we're going to see in order every 60th of a second. And just like our previous example, we have 1, 2, 3 of film frame 1, and then 2, 2, 2 twos. My daughter wears a tutu sometimes. And then we have frame 3 takes up 3 of the fields, and frame 4 takes up another couple. So 3, 2, 3, 2. That's the pull down pattern. Remember that. I'm adjusting my marker because sometimes it doesn't write right. It doesn't write correctly, I should say. Why did I laugh? Did you hear that? That was a laugh. Okay, so anyway, we remember in video, each of the 2 fields is going to make up 1 frame. So we're going to take these 2, and frame 1 of video is going to have a field from film frame 1 and another field from film frame 1. So far, so good. Let's move on to the next frame here. These 2 are going to get jumbled up into frame 2. So that's what we have there. We're going to have a top and a bottom field, which are, every other row. We got into that before. The next one is just as weird, where we have the same situation. We have a 2 and then a 3. And then here's another one. We're getting back to normal over here, where we just have a 3 and a 3. It's getting harder to write, so it's like I'm going to school myself. I'm like getting dumber before your eyes and writing like a kindergartner. And then here we go, 4 and 4. So that's what's happened there. We have, from these 4 frames of film, we've now created 5 frames in video. Now look, this one's fine. This one's fine. This one's fine. But look what happened here. This is a mix-up of part of film frame 1 and part of film frame 2. And then this is part of 2 and part of 3. Now, let me ask you something. What happened to the second film frame? Frame 2. It got jumbled up. It's not even like in a complete frame. Now, like I said, our eye is pretty much going to see this on a tube television. But the problem is, as I pointed out in my interlacing video, it's really the computer's fault that it shows both these instants of time as if they had happened at the same time. It shows both fields from the same frame at the same time, even though they didn't happen at the same time. And that's the problem. So if we were to expand this out and look at it and keep going through this video stream, we would see 1, 2, 3 good, solid, progressive frames, and then 2 jumbled ones. And then it would repeat like that. Now, especially, like I said, frame 2, you can see got all jarbled up. It's in part of one frame and part of the other. The only way to get rid of that is with pull-down removal. So now that you see some of these odd frames that come out of the pull-down process, and at least you'll understand why they're there. Now, on a later video, I'm going to tell you how to get rid of that stuff, but that's another lesson for another time. Thanks for watching this one. I am Derek, and you have officially increased your nerdiness.
Sharpen pencils, clear your desk.
It's time to increase your nerdiness